it's time to acknowledge the elephant in the room. The thing that I've been talking about for a long time that most people aren't ready to admit, that Palworld has been a bigger failure than Concord, right? If you really look at what's happening with Pocket Pair, if you look at the lawsuit, you will know that Nintendo is seeking an injunction against Pocket Pair, which means they will not be able to utilize the Palworld IP at all going forward. This will, of course, destroy the entire company. Without Palworld, when that game gets taken off Steam stores, when they are forced to refund millions of dollars, when Nintendo gets their fee right from them, when a Pocket Pair has to face the music for their blatant patent violations, right? When it all comes crashing down, it is going to sink all of their business deals. It is going to sink their entire company, and I would not be surprised if the CEO ends up in prison. Right next to Yuji Naka. Did you know I made Sonic the Hedgehog? Like, you're going to see Pocket Pair meet an absolutely brutal end. And most people are in denial about this. People are still trying to gaslight themselves like, oh, well, if we get Palworld to win a game award, that's going to show Nintendo. No, that's not going to do anything. You are completely done. You're finished. Go home. Go to prison in Pocket Pair's case. What exactly are you going to do to make Pocket Pair survive this lawsuit? Nothing. There's nothing. Right? No matter how hard Pocket Pair tries to gaslight people into thinking that they did nothing wrong, the courts do not see it that way. The Japanese courts will not see it that way. And people are seething online like, oh man, the Japanese are so out of touch. They will do everything in their power to avoid taking responsibility for the fact that they seriously tried to hype up a plagiarized product. This is the company that you tried to prop up to compete with Pokemon, right? What'd you think was going to happen? What were you expecting, another slow decline like Digimon, like Yokai Watch? No, this was different. This was an absolute failure on the part of Pocket Pair, on Microsoft, on Steam, Sony, everybody involved with this who allowed this to go through and tried to promote it, Jeff Keighley, all of these people really need to be held accountable for what they did, because people knew right off the bat that this was a plagiarized product. And what is happening is that this is going to cause a domino effect where the most hyped up product of the year, the thing that people thought was seriously going to kill Pokemon, is going to go up in a puff of smoke, right? It's just going to disappear. The parent company is going to go downhill. All those deals are going to go bye-bye. What's going to happen? People are going to have to notice that Pokemon beat another one. They're going to have to realize that Nintendo once again came out on top. And they're going to cope. They're going to seethe. They're going to try and get Japanese laws changed. They're going to try and bring Pocket Pair back. They're going to try to do spiritual successors. They're going to try to preserve the media through piracy. They're going to try making their own Palworld fan content. They're going to do everything they possibly can other than acknowledge the fact that Nintendo defeated the big Pokemon competitor of the year, right? This was supposed to be the Pokemon killer, and it just completely imploded. And with things the way they are now, with all the backlash to Pokemon dying down, with more and more people exposing themselves as complete frauds who don't know anything about the IP, this should be the last time that anybody seriously thinks you can just kill Pokemon, because it just isn't going to happen. Okay, you're not going to dismantle the biggest gaming entertainment property in the world just because some people are upset that not every single Pokemon is in a game. Okay? Like, you're not going to gaslight people into thinking the games don't look good or that they're broken or that they're the same thing over and over again. Like, you're not going to convince anybody. That is the reality of the situation. When you really look at it, when you really understand what's been happening, when you understand the situation, when you understand like why this happened, you will understand that Palworld really had nothing to do with it. Palworld was nothing. Nobody cared about it. Nobody played it. Nobody bought it. Nobody was excited about the future of the product. No, the reason Palworld was hyped up the way it did was an obvious attempt at trying to dismantle the Pokemon IP, and it completely and utterly failed. Right? This was a huge deal, right? They threw everything they had to try and destroy the Pokemon, try to get people to hate it, to believe that Nintendo had fallen off, that PlayStation and Xbox had a better competitor, and nobody cared. And at this point, I never want to hear about any Pokemon competitors ever again, because we're going to see the same thing happen over and over again. Like Temtem was embarrassing, but this was a step below that. What's next? Some mobile game? Like, oh man, fuck the Pokemon trainer. Like, what? Like, what's next? Like, what are they gonna try next? Is my honest feeling towards this. Like, they can't keep getting angry at everything Pokemon does and expect actual genuine fans to take them seriously. When Angry Joe talks about Pokemon and how bad it's gotten, I don't see someone who's a jilted fan who's upset with the direction of the company. I see a grifter who doesn't talk about anything Nintendo related, who's simply trying to complain about Pokemon for the views. And that's what all of these people are, right? That's exactly what he is, right? I'm not wrong in my assessment when I say that. And as this issue continues to escalate, as you see more and more people continue to make new and more ridiculous excuses for Palworld, you are going to see more and more people deny reality. They are going to deny that Palworld was a bigger failure than Concord. They are going to deny the implications. They're going to deny what this means for the console war. You're going to see these people bend over backwards to refuse to acknowledge reality.